Welcome, my name is Tanya, and today we will be taking a look at Neo4j. Many of you viewing this presentation already know me, but for those of you who may not, I am currently a student at Olympic College where I'm enrolled in the Bachelor's of Information Systems program. The following presentation is my final project for the IS330 Database and Data Analysis class taught by Professor Amelia Garipoli. Before we jump right into Neo4j, let's bring everyone up to speed. We are evaluating NoSQL solutions. The first order of business is to understand that NoSQL, against popular belief, does not literally mean NoSQL. This surprised me too. I was really excited to get away from SQL after studying it all quarter. But on the contrary, NoSQL simply means not only SQL. Yep, you heard that right. SQL is still used as part of the solution. It works along with other database types to solve complicated scalability and big data issues. There are 4 NoSQL categories: key value store, wide column store, document store, and graph databases. Neo4j is a graph database. What is a graph database? A graph database consists of a collection of nodes and edges. According to TechTarget's definition, each node represents an entity, such as a person or a business, and each edge represents a connection or relationship between 2 nodes. Every node in a graph database is defined by a unique identifier, a set of outgoing edges and/or incoming edges, and a set of properties expressed as key value pairs. Each edge is defined by a unique identifier, a starting place and/or an ending place, and a set of properties. Now that we know Neo4j is a graph database and what a graph database is, let's talk about how and why you would use a graph database. Graph databases are widely used in social networking applications such as online dating sites, and they are used within mapping software. The relationships can be seen as roads between nodes or locations. These are easily queried for routing information. They are also widely used in financial applications, just to name a few. Why choose a graph database? When deciding what type of database will work for you, you'll need to ask yourself what's more important for your database. Is it size or complexity? If your answer is complexity, then graph databases are best for you. Key value and wide column stores are best at handling large quantities of data. Document stores can do a little of both, but graph databases are the best at handling complex data. Why does it matter? Why is this so important to consider? It all comes down to how fast and efficient a database can return a query. For example, when put to the test, Neo4j is 1,000 times faster than a relational database. They did a large query of 1,000 people and returned the query in 2 milliseconds. It took the competing relational database 2,000 milliseconds for the same query. Neo4j then took the same query and upped it to 1 million people. Again, Neo4j came back with results in 2 milliseconds. The competition? Well, they shut it down after several days of querying. Relational databases have been in the works for 40 years. Graph databases have only been in the works for 10 years, with Neo4j leading the way. Other graph data systems out there include Allegro Graph, Oracle Spatula and Graph, and Teradata Aster. This information is according to a recent article published by Predictive Analytics Today. System requirements for Neo4j include the fact that Neo4j is Java-based, and it requires OpenJDK 8 or 7 or Oracle Java 8. It runs on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS machines. It also offers a web-based sandbox trial version. The minimum memory required is 2 gigabytes. Disk space is 10 gigabytes, and CPU recommendation minimum is Intel Core i3 processor. For a full list of system requirements, you can visit their online website at neo4j.com/docs/stable/deployment-requirements.html. The link is provided in the documentation with this quick start guide. Okay, now that we've learned the basics about Neo4j, let's go ahead and view it live. For this demo, I have gone ahead and requested the sandbox version, or you can choose to download the full version for 30 days. The sandbox version is good for 7 days, and you simply navigate to the sandbox website. You fill in your name, first name, last name, and email address, and they will email you the link for the sandbox as well as a temporary username and password in order to log in. Here you can see this is the beginning page, and I am completely logged into this site already. So we are going to walk through a demo of Neo4j. I hope you're as excited about this system as I was. I've spent quite a bit of time just learning about it and playing with it, and this is my idea of what databases should be like. I'm very visual, and so SQL for me is kind of tedious, but I am really enjoying this Neo4j system. It's completely user-friendly, and as you get to the opening page here, you see that they have 3 areas you can click on. Learn about Neo4j, jump right into the code, or check out how to monitor the system. So we are going to walk through the slides for the site here. I'm not going to go through each one of these, but basically this discusses graph databases, talks about how it works and what it is, which we've already gone through most of. We're going to skip down to where we can actually get into the Cipher query language. One thing about Neo4j is that it is built in Java. However, they do have bindings for all other coding languages. Okay, so we are going to start here. And as you can see, Neo4j browser is a command shell. And so this tutorial is very user-friendly. As you walk through here, you can see the code. You're going to create the person, Emily, and you're going to give her unique identifiers that she's from Sweden and she has a clout score of 99. In order to do this, you just simply click this box here, which implements the code here, and then you hit play. Once you do that, the database row is added. The label is added, 1 node is created, and 3 properties are executed. You can click the rows option to actually view how these rows work. You can also click this option to see the code in action. Okay, we are going to return to this window. And now we're going to find a node that matches Emil. So again, we're going to click this box and we're going to push play. Now, because we're seeing a relationship, we can actually click here. We have the option of seeing the graph, and there's two persons because I've already walked through this once. So now we have two Emils that return. And now we're going to create a clause that can create many nodes and relationships at once. And I've actually already done this, but basically you do the same thing. You click here and hit play. It added 8 labels, 8 nodes, set 28 properties, created 14 relationships, and it was executed in 2082 milliseconds. So you can see how user-friendly it is as we walk through all of these tutorials. Here you can match patterns. You can see the relationships titles here. And this will show a graph of all the people that are acted in these different movies. So here's the movie, here's the people, and notice that the nodes are different colors, and then the relationships are outlined here. And you can see how complex this can get. There's 21 nodes, 26 relationships, with 1 additional relationship. Other things you can do is view favorites. You can create a node and see how nicely it goes ahead and pops it in there for you, and you just hit play. You can gather some data for your node and look at the statistics that this returned. So there you have it. There's additional information about Neo4j. There's the guides, getting started, basic information. And under this option, these are all of the settings here that you can use for Neo4j. Okay. Well, that wraps up our presentation for today. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.